good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Truth Behind the Truth, the Night Edition. All right. Welcome. I want to welcome everybody into tonight, our live broadcast. We are off schedule. We'll get back. We got to get the schedule together for Tuesday nights because we have to remember 6 p.m. like we were on Saturdays, even though Saturday still shows at 6 p.m. Yeah. And thank you guys for tuning in. Oh my gosh, you guys are tuned in over on the re-air. We saw all of your comments and everything that happened for Saturday night. So please, if you're not available on Tuesday, definitely can watch the re-airing on Saturday night on our same platform. So which is good. So they getting us twice as much. Twice as much during the week with a little bit more information out there. And wanted to give a shout out to a few people that actually had given some comments, last week. Great. Some things about doing this show that we really are, kind of being astute with, and that simply meaning that we don't know who we're reaching a lot of times,
No, we don't.
And we really feel like sometimes that people aren't listening because we've been talking to you guys for like 5 years. Okay. And we were talking to the extent to hopefully help you not make a decision of putting that man in the White House. We got this thing on in the background, so in case
delusion is on.
Yeah. So
how you doing, Charles? In a way,
I'm sorry, I didn't negate him. I was just
no, but
went right into that rant real quick.
Go ahead,
Charles. How are you?
How
now
you
finish
doing,
my
Charles?
point. Oh, you muted, Charles. You're muted, brother.
I'm just trying to do my job. Keep things moving.
Gotcha. Thank you, brother. Right. So anyway, let me do my thought. What was I saying?
I think you was mentioning about
the
people who had been watching our show.
Right. So really want to seriously encourage you guys to spread and share. Okay. Share this show because it is so vital to where we are right now. And we will absolutely do our best to make sure that you are aware of what's going on. I mean, we feel like that's been our job for the longest period of time, and we're going to continue to do that, So, but in order to keep us on, you got to send us some money. All right. I'm just going to tell you, we need money. It takes money to do this.
It takes money. But still, though, it'd be nice if, for those who will watch us to support us and to spread the word that we are still on. And I'm hoping and praying with this, we're giving you some information that is worth needing and worth talking about, because Truth Behind the Truth is wanting to be that format to at least help individuals at least find their true authenticity. And then on top of that, to do their own research. We're not the ones that want to give out our own worldview without you going about doing your own research and finding your own answers and coming up with your own interpretations of whatever that is that we're talking about. So don't ever feel the need to go about what we say as the gospel.
Right. Well, no.
Wait a minute, but still though, I believe that everybody should have their own freedom of, and that is so important right now to have. Now that we have somebody who is enforcing world views onto us for us to believe that what he is saying is sprouting is true, without any facts to back him up. We don't want to be whoever that is that's talking right now. So like I say, we're giving y'all, our audience, the information, but it's up to you to do your own research as well. So
please. I mean, for sure. I mean, it is. You got to take the initiative to do further research and looking at things. We really diligently try to provide it, and we've been very good at doing that. I mean, if you wanted to say that you could consider us modern day prophets about information, we have said quite a bit and had a lot of things have come to pass. Over the past, and during the time,
and it's still coming to pass.
Oh yeah, it's still coming to pass. And one of the points about that is this man being back in office again. You warned for 2 years. You warned for 2 years of getting ready, being prepared. All of those things. You warned America. Okay, some people just pass right on by. Some black boys and black men or whatever, just talking about nothing. Whatever it is. Or all of those that's passed by on YouTube, and we are in the algorithm of YouTube. Okay, but trust and believe. Okay, if you look at other shows, it'll put us up there, but you have the choice to click on and watch and listen to what we're saying. We're on Facebook. Okay, I don't post as much on Facebook as I did, prior to. But you know what? I'm going to start doing that a little bit more to keep you guys a little bit more informed and up to date. We've got 2 pages out there for you on YouTube. Okay, we have my page, you have his page, and then you have the authentic page, the truth behind the authentic truth page. Okay, so all of those connected pieces that are there for you to be informed. Clicking on it anytime, all right, and get the information you need. Because right now, this man's doing all kinds of stuff all across the globe at this point, because you got everybody in the world watching him, you know, at the end of the day. So before we dig in, I want to highlight we're going to talk about him. We're going to talk about that President Zelensky situation, you know, even though that's probably like previous news, but from what I'm understanding is that he is surrendering to Trump, but we'll get into that in a few minutes. We'll get into the state of delusion, you know, that's going on right now.
It's a state of chaos.
There's
a lot of chaotic stuff going on in that state of delusion and union or whatever. There's a lot because, to be honest with you, a lot of people are not. You know, it is what it is. Yeah. I always say, people who voted for this, hey, they're gonna have their cake tonight and for the next few months when stuff is bound to go up. Yeah. I mean, Charles, what do you think? I mean,
hold on. We're not going to yet. Hang on one second. Let's knock out these few things. We will dive right into that. Okay. Yeah. So, as you guys did or did not watch the Oscars, it was an okay show. I think Conan did. You know, he did a little bit better than I anticipated him doing. You know, I wasn't very excited him about it because I'm not a Conan, whatever his name is. I'm not a big fan. You know, just never have been a real big fan of his, but he did okay. I think it was okay for what it was worth. I think that, of course, when Will Packard did it, was still to me was a very, very good show. You know, the energy.
When he did the 3 women, he did Wanda Sykes and Regina
Hall and what's her name? The one that
the comedian.
When the slap, that was the day the slap happened.
Yeah, I'm trying to think because her uncle is part of the Senate. Oh my goodness, what's her name? Charles, if you can get her right quick.
Regina Hall.
What's that?
When Will Packard did the Oscars, what was her name? I can't think of her name right now. Of the 3 women, I know it was Regina Hall. I can't. But anyway, it'll get to it.
I'll look it up.
But anyway, so yeah, it was decent. I think that they tried to keep it a little bit entertaining. And then, you know, we were discussing earlier is that it needs to get more in depth. And I mean that in depth, meaning that it needs to be colorized a little bit more. Hopefully they don't have to go back to Oscars all white, you know, thing that they did with when Jada Pinkett, you know, started that movement. You know, so hopefully we won't go back to that particular direction. But who knows with that clown in the White
Zendaya?
House? Huh?
Zendaya and Lupita Nyong'o?
No.
No, who hosted it when Will Packard did the when he produced it during, you know, the Chris and Will Smith slap. I'm trying to figure it out. Because I know it was Wanda Sykes, it was Regina.
I think it was just Wanda Sykes, her, Regina, and
but I'm trying
but anyway, so we so it you know, it was a good show, you know what I mean, to that extent. I watched it in part. I think the highlight, which I think it got super rating, the highlight was Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande when they paid tribute to the Wizard of Oz as well, leading up to Wicked. And Cynthia Erivo just took Wicked to Defying Gravity to another level.
Amy Schumer.
Oh, Amy Schumer. Okay,
that's who that was.
Okay.
Now we can keep it rolling.
Okay.
That's who it was.
So the Cynthia Erivo just took Defying Gravity to another level, you know.
I mean, it was good. It was good.
Okay.
I mean, you loved the performance.
I thought it was fantastic.
It was fantastic. You know, I liked how they implemented, you know, the Wizard of Oz and Wiz when, you know, when Ariana Grande when she came out with Over the Rainbow, and you had Cynthia come out with Home from the Wiz, and they incorporated those 2 songs into Wicked with their Defying Gravity, and then on top of that, you know, and then it was good. I enjoyed it.
Right. And then, of course, during that same point, they're paying tribute to Quincy Jones as well, you know, for the Wiz.
People,
What?
There's some you know, backlash a little bit from the Michael Jackson fans. You know, the fact that Oprah mentioned every other artist but Michael Jackson in the Quincy tribute. So there's some, and then there's and then there's a situation where they feel like there was an awkward moment between Whoopi and Oprah. But like I say, they played it off very well. But it's there's always gonna be a little bit of situations going on where we don't understand or we don't know. But it's
always something behind the
scenes.
That's
the situation on social media right now.
Oh, wow. Who not surprised, but congratulations to the winners.
Yes,
glad for Zoe winning best supporting actress.
One of the
one of the Cocos. And it's funny mentioning him. I would have never thought that he would have surpassed Macaulay.
I don't think he surpassed them.
Well, when Macaulay won an Oscar, he never been in an Oscar movie like that at all.
Really doesn't matter if he won an Oscar or not. Macaulay Culkin is an icon.
Well, yeah, because
that trumps out. I mean, I'm not trying to take away his brother's shine, but Macaulay Culkin is a pop icon. I mean, when you think about Home Alone, when you think about all of those movies that he started in the 90s,
right?
I mean, the man was $1 million product. Well, and don't get me wrong, it's just the fact that his brother did accomplish winning the Oscar, but sometimes that doesn't really, it doesn't have the same gravitas. It's just the fact that Macaulay Culkin will always have that one leg over his other brother because the fact that, my God, that's Home Alone.
Yeah, well, no, I understand that point, but I'm just looking at the achievement of, because he's more known for Home Alone versus to his progressive or work to this day. No, not necessarily, because it's like he's not acting anymore. I mean, and his brother kind of did a leap and had got much better roles and things like that in the current phase. So it seems
his
like
resume is very good. That's what you're trying to say. His resume is has been expanded from, because he was once a child prodigy as well. He did your movie, which was Father the Bride, and he did some other films along with that as a child. But as an adult, yes, he has expanded his resume. But I just still don't think he has that, what you call that icon status that his older brother has, because Macaulay Culkin been in some iconic films. When you think about not only Home Alone, but Richie Rich, and then he did what was the film where his uncle came home and he took care of the kids? I'm trying to think of that. It was either Big Ben or something like that. Uncle Ben, Uncle somebody. But
and he also did the one about the bee.
Yeah. Oh yes. My Girl.
My Girl. Right.
Oh my God. See what I'm saying? Listen.
Well,
those were iconic moments, and I'm so. I mean, I'm not, like I said, I'm not trying to take away his brother's shine. He won the Oscar, great, but it's just, I don't know. It's just Macaulay Culkin still holds that level of like, man, that was the 90s, right there. That was my childhood.
Right. Well, Charles, what do you think?
I think that a lot of this, it's sad to say, there's so much going on in the world today. We need a little bit of sunshine here and there.
Right.
Yeah.
But man, life is not wonderful at the moment.
It's bleak.
Right.
It is.
Right. Understandable.
And that's the reality of the situation.
Right.
The fact is
Let's not change the subject.
We're not going to change it, but it's just that is the facts that is going on right now.
Yeah, this is true. All right, so let's look at the best dress, and then we will, the few things that we picked out, that and we will move on into the highlight of the topics of this evening. So you can give us a one. I think you had Ariana first. Charles was a minute ago. I think this particular. It wasn't the dress that she wore on the red carpet, but it was the dress that she performed in, which I think this one is better than the one on the red carpet that she did. I know you guys go. Yeah, this is a beautiful dress, and she looked very princess-like in it. So really, 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 really good choice in her stylist with that. Mm-hmm. I think we got Cynthia next, I believe. Yes, she stole it. She stole the carpet. Okay, I mean, her and Halle Berry were my favorite too. Okay, this was just so iconic. The velveteen, and still paying homage to Elphaba with the green. Yeah. The green in it, and they really raved about her. And this wasn't the one she actually wore when she got in. She changed like 3 or 4 times, in the process of it. But I think this was really, really stunning. And it just did a lot for her. In that capacity. Throw Halle Berry up real quick if you see her real fast. This, and there's two pictures of Halle. This was it. This was it. I mean, Halle was the best dress of the night.
I want to know what alkaline water she's drinking.
I mean, because she looks very good.
Yes, she does.
Halle looks good. Halle will be what, 62 this year, right, Charles? I think.
Yeah, she's
right around there. Yeah.
Yes, I mean, and you would. Halle does not look nowhere near close to 62 years old.
She's holding strong.
Yes,
that takes a lot of wherewithal to not, because I have to give it up to her, and she's not the only one in her, even Demi Moore, they're still trying to hold it together because but still.
Well, a lot of them kind of go the other direction when you reach 60. But if this is the new 60, phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? If this is the true new 60, then phenomenal. You know what I mean?
I would call another actress out that don't look like this, but I'm not going to do that because that is not kosher, and we will not, shame anybody for aging. But it's just the fact that, dang, what is she drinking to keep herself so hydrated? Her skin looks hydrated, everything looks hydrated, and the dresses she wore. Now that was the red carpet dress.
Yes.
Then she went to the Vanity Fair with something sort of similar to that, but it was very nicely tailored onto her body. Like I said, she is wow. She was the wild factor. She made a statement and a half that night. All right, let's move on to the fellas real quick. Yes. I know some others gave you, but maybe toward the end of the show we'll pull them back up. Let's get Coleman. So Coleman, he has just been a statement through every award, another one just like his stylist has done him, and he has not been afraid to take risk. And this is not a risk taker here. This is just good. This is just classy, because it's the sash around the waistline, accentuating the waistline now that has been out for a few years now in men's fashion. But he looks really good, really, really good. I thought he was going to do something a little bit more flowing, but this is good. This is good. Really, really loved it. Jeremy Pope, I don't know if did you get his? Yeah, there he is. So he kind of went, really kind of tailored, in his look. It was all black, but he got giving me like he went to a sort of like a let's just say it's more Asian persuasion. Exactly. Formal type of fit. Right. So that's what I was thinking.
And it looks, and he wears it very well. And then Sterling K. Brown. Sterling went I think he was, I don't know, I think we got him coming up, but he just did the really tailored black and white look, and it looked really good on him, there were a few others that I don't know if we got a chance to get those up. Kelly, they look really good together. They always look good together anyway, Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos.
They sort of hosted a little bit of the back stage area.
Right. I mean, his tux looks good. I'm surprised that she got him to wear a brooch. Because how Mark there's that other one, Halle, yes. But Mark Consuelos is, he likes to be the ultimate man. He don't like to be the, whatever. Anyway, okay. but they both look very phenomenal. I love the dress that Kelly had on as well. All right. Well, we're gonna move on. Okay. We have a few minutes toward it. We may bring up a few more pictures a little bit later. But that one, Halle Berry one. Oh yeah, Timothy. What's the name? Spider-Man. Great, all brown, which is something totally different, for the formal look. And I thought this was a very, very nice look for him,
what's so interesting? Everybody didn't go traditional for some strange reason.
Right.
I don't know. Each and every year, everybody's going off the cuff of being what it is to be traditional, formal at the Oscars. You would think black. I don't know. That's probably just the old school of me.
All the black and white tuxes. I guess you get kind of. Well, here's the thing. I'm glad to see that men are introducing more color, to that in different styles and that, because it's always been kind of left up to the women to make that statement on on the red carpet, whatever that the event was. And now these men have more stylists that are part of their crew, so they are making them look a lot more, because every Oscar from back in 100 years ago, they're all wearing black and white tuxedos, looking like penguins coming in. That was really, the style, with that. But anyway, so enough for the Oscars. So you guys can go check it out too. The winners were, like I said, shout out to Zoe. The other girl that won for Best Actress. Didn't see the movie, so I can't speak on it. I didn't really want to see it. Oh yes, I forgot about Whoopi. I think this was stunning for Whoopi. I think this was really stunning for Whoopi, for the first time being back at the Oscars in a long time. And then after all the weight that she's lost, so she's accentuating her waistline. The only pushback that they got on that some people thought it was too shiny, but I'm like, to me, that's what it encapsulates Whoopi's personality. In the shine of this particular, because it was like her time to come out and shine again, and making those statements. You know
what? There's one gripe I do have, and I'm happy that that looks nice too. But there's one gripe. Why are these people wearing, especially the women, wearing clothes that they cannot even walk in? Now there's been situations where I have watched certain award shows, and some of these women cannot even walk in these dresses that they've been tailored to.
They're too tight.
Not that they're too tight, but the hem is either too long.
Yeah.
And I've seen some of them who just hobble on stage and hobble down stage. Ariana almost fell at one point, had to get Cynthia to run back during some press backstage, where but not at this award show, but at another award show. And I'm like, why is it that when you wear this stuff that you don't think to be that? Listen, I got to walk in this thing. I got to be comfortable in this thing. Clothes are to be, I don't know now. Hey, to each his own.
Right.
If you want to look nice and want to look cool and tailored into a tight suit or dress where if you sit down you can split your rear end. Hey, go for what you know. But I always thought clothes were to be comfortable in and to walk easy in. But I'm just noticing that. I'm noticing that some of these women and some of these men do not know how to walk in their own suits and dresses. So that's just my gripe. I'm just seeing that lately, and I don't know what that's about, but it is what it is. Gotcha. Okay, let's keep it moving.
All right. So we got a quick break. All right, we're gonna come back and we're gonna dig into the state of the confusion. All right. State of the confusion. All right. We'll be right back. And delusion.
Hey, my name is Thurston, and here I have my CEO, son Langston. We specialize in junk removal, dumpster rental, and demolition. So if you need junk removed,
call Junk Stars.
You need dumpster rentals,
call Junk
Stars. That these troublemakers were attending and disrupting town hall meetings as part of a game for Democrats. Similar sentiments were expressed last week by House Speaker Mike Johnson, who claimed those speaking out against GOP policies were simply unhappy Dems. Over the weekend, Senator Roger Marshall of Kansas even walked out of a town hall early after he was confronted by constituents. And then he claimed to NBC News that those speaking out at that town hall were, quote, people from the big city. Which one? Here's one exchange.
Yes. Thank you for that, Charles. I mean, that was a good, definitely good intro in terms of our discussion. First of all, before we get to it,
I think I'm gonna need a drink while we talk.
Oh yeah. Well, what we got on the background, we need one after all of this.
Feel bad about it. We're gonna all need one.
For sure. But anyway, welcome back, guys. I want to thank you so much for tuning into The Truth Behind the Truth tonight, our Tuesday night edition, our live edition on Tuesday nights. We will be here on Tuesday nights, and the time will get adjusted, all right? So we will be here at 6 p.m. on Tuesday nights, all right? So just keep that in mind moving forward. Re-airing on Saturdays and wherever else we want to pop up, okay? To keep you informed, right? Want to encourage you, like, share, please. I thank you guys for those of you that have been watching and participating appreciating with your comments and everything, and that we're seeing them after the show. Please keep those going, even if it's not a live broadcast. You want to put it, I will be, or we will be able to see it and maybe even address it, you know, to in a future upcoming show. And you can send an email to ttbttshow@gmail. All right, don't forget the mug. Don't forget the mug, and don't forget to support TTBTT Show on Cash App, and our Venmo is The Truth Behind the Truth. All right, let's get into the state of confusion.
Yeah.
All right, the confusion process is furtherly being done right now as we are speaking. I think in on the East Coast, it's on at 9, and it's 6 o'clock our time here, or a little after. So the clown of the house is in full force, all right, presenting his agenda, all right, which has been the most chaotic event in American history up to this point. This man loves to talk about American history, all right, but he is creating the most chaos in American history that has ever happened up to this point. And I'm sure after the night, it's going to be some more that we're going to need to get to be aware of, all right. Yeah. So first thing on the state of confusion, President Zelensky. Oh my gosh. You know, you and I've talked about that and talked about it. And, you know, my thing on this whole point, you guys can certainly read. What's that man in the White House? He lucky that wasn't a black man he was in there berating like that, because he'd got shit slapped out of it. I'm just going to be honest. Okay? Because if
it was the right one.
It was the right one. That's true. Because, I mean.
If it was the right one,
I mean. To sit there and talk to that man like he was somebody's child. I'm still flabbergasted at that, you know, at that particular point, you know, and then the what is that Vice President JD Scamps, you know, you know, he made it even worse, you know. I mean, you need to be grateful. You're not grateful, you know, you're not thankful to us.
You need to kiss the ring.
Huh?
He has to kiss the ring.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, you know what's happening. Then we'll bring up what's going to happen after that. But go ahead. What's your point about that?
Well, to be honest with you, it was embarrassing. I don't know what anybody would have gotten out of that. I mean, you know what? It's let's just say this. It should have been more diplomatic. That should have been more behind the scenes than it should have been up in the front. Now, you know, one thing I realized during that whole entire situation, I knew that was going to happen. I don't know why. I didn't even really have to see it live to know what was going to happen, because the rhetoric all during his campaign was cutting Ukraine off and making that they didn't receive any type of funding, and this pseudo peace offering that he's been trying to persuade Russia and them to have. And because all of this honestly is an investment. We all know that this fool wants an investment from what he is doing. You know, even I can recall when Obama went into Libya. And, you know, Gaddafi was assassinated and all this stuff was going on. He said about Obama was the fact that if Obama didn't go get at least go get the oil from Libya, then it was a waste of time. The whole entire shebang was a waste of time. So knowing Trump and knowing that this man is all about business, because that's what he based his whole entire career on, is doing in business and investing in all types of craziness. We all knew that this whole entire thing was based on him getting minerals from this country, which he's not going to get. Right. Because what I come to, you know, I'm thinking that, you know, who's going to actually get it if they decide to go their route is China.
Wow. Okay.
And I do believe that China might have a hand in investing in have some hand of investment in this, but it's to be seen, because there has, you know, but still though, it was a mess. We as a country are embarrassed. We are exposed to the fact that now we have a leader who do not know how to be diplomatic and in the sense of being diplomatic as a leader. He is a fool. He is a fool right now. And he's showing his foolishness along with the people who support him, because they don't know no better. And I hate to say this, and I'm going to let you go after this, Charles. The fact that the double standard was so thick that day, it pissed me off. The fact that they held Obama to a higher standard than Trump. In that very moment, the Legacy News They baited that whole entire scenario, talking about, 3 people were screaming in that moment. There were no 3 people yelling and screaming. There was 2 hyenas. There was one that had the mascara weasel and the Cheeto weasel. Those 2 people were the ones that were yelling. So to be honest with you, the Legacy News, they should be more ashamed for baiting and misinforming the American people with that crap and lowering the standard of leadership in this country. And that's about it. Go ahead, Charles.
Yeah, that was good.
I agree with you. I think that in the grand scheme of everything, like there seems to be this running thing. Democrats are liars. They tried to cheat, but they just found out in another state that some of the votes were hidden. They were missing. Just found that out tonight. And the data was lost, they said, but they couldn't retrieve it. Now they've retrieved it. And of course, what it shows, Trump wasn't winning. So, like I tell people, there's a lot behind it. My biggest issue is the fact that Democrats have no spine, no bite, not even a bark. They just roll over and play dead, and people rub their tummy and they feel happy. That's the end of it. I think that they should do what the Republicans did for Obama when he had the House and the Senate. Cause freaking mischief. Be a headache. Be always in the way. Make it so that you're seen and known. Hakeem had the nerve to say, we'll work with anybody that wants to work with us. We'll work together and get legislation done. Nobody gives a freaking hoot about damn legislation like that. Nobody. The Republicans are saying sissy, punk, weak ass man, don't want to have no backbone, no balls. And he don't. I like Hakeem, but he just has I see no danger. No danger from him.
Doesn't even no threat.
No, exactly. No threat. None.
No threat. And you're probably right. I mean, I like the aspects of Hakeem I like, but there is no assertiveness to stand up for the American people. I mean, you're always, every speech that you give is always, what about the American people, about the American people, about the American people, about the American people. And I don't see you fighting, bro. The only person I can say, well, the 2 senators, I can't think of the names, are from Tennessee, and the one from Tennessee and the one from and Governor Westmoreland. I mean, he's getting like high praise. I mean, and they're saying that they hope that he will be able to build some other people in the mindset that he's going forward. And they were talking about him today. And then, of course,
Pritzker in Illinois. Pritzker's doing the same thing. Pritzker in Illinois.
And
he's standing up to him.
And Jasmine Crockett. Jasmine
Crockett, AOC, Joy Reid.
Yes.
It's just a shame that, this is the world we live in. And I hate when I say this, but it's so true. The Republican Party's become a cult. It's not even a political party anymore.
Oh, they always been a cult. That ain't nothing new underneath the sun. I mean, to be honest with you, they were a cult since Reagan.
I'm waiting to see them walking through the hallways going, brains, because they're like zombies. They don't know anything and don't have no brain whatsoever. Trump says it. Marco Rubio got on Meet the Press and tried to browbeat everybody about Zelensky needs to learn how to be appreciative. How do you be appreciative when you over 300,000 people have died in bombings?
Yes.
We were there to help support them. Now you're going to take it away and then tell us you need to show us you like us. Get on your knees. Bow down.
I said this same thing. I said, let's just play the other side of the coin, and let's just take it off of that. You go and let somebody shoot up your family, okay? And then come back and tell me thank you because thank you for you letting let them shoot up my family. Thank you.
You even asked JD Vance. JD Vance, have you been to my country? No, but I've seen the videos. I'm like, oh my God.
But the fact is, Europe is doing Europe has seen this before.
Yeah.
Europe has seen this before in 1938. And I know people getting tired of us talking about Hitler, but hey, if you don't know your history, you deem to repeat it.
Because he's on TV right now.
That too. Mm-hmm. But the fact is, Putin is Hitler. The fact is that Hitler during 38 wanted the Sudetenland, which was the German-speaking territory of Czechoslovakia. Mm. And Europe at the time is at the point of trying to avoid war, they gave him the Sudetenland, but with the agreement of him not invading Czechoslovakia. Well, they went into the Sudetenland, but that was not even enough. The fact is he went and invaded Czechoslovakia and then Poland. Now, this was the Munich Agreement. Go look it up. This was the Munich Agreement. So the European nations in these times, Putin wants Ukraine. But what does Putin also want? He wants Poland. So if they give him Ukraine, he's going to go further towards Poland and some other nations. The fact
but you know how that works? Nobody needs to do that, right? The destruction or the downfall of the American political system.
There you go.
Okay.
And you know what's so funny? Make America first. Oh, no, America first has always been the rhetoric of the right wing since the 30s. Charles Lindbergh, if he was still alive to this day, he would have voted for Trump because that was his rhetoric for Roosevelt. When Roosevelt was trying to tell these people that Hitler was trying to invade, you know what Americans said? Middle America, to this day, Middle America was saying we should not get involved. So what happened? 1941, and during December 1941 was Pearl Harbor. It took for us for Japan to bring their asses towards Hawaii to bomb us, for those right-wing America First people to shut their mouths up and say, let's go to war. So this is what's happening right now. You got America First right now with Trump. Now, during that whole entire situation with Zelensky, he kept saying, well, we're not going to put money behind your war because it's not our problem. And Zelensky went as far as to say the only luxury y'all have in this country are oceans, but it's coming. All of this stuff is coming in your direction. So
they didn't like hearing that part.
The saddest thing about Americans right now, that they don't understand that this has already happened before. There will be another world war. Because
you know what what it all started, and I know people, I was telling a buddy of mine this today, it started with Reagan. It started with Reagan. When Reagan made colleges and everything super expensive and we couldn't get educations, the housing market started doubling up. The inflation, unemployment was up to 18%. I was getting out of the military at that time. 18%, man, that was unemployment. And I could tell people every day, Reagan came in, they swept him down. He's the greatest thing since sliced bread when he wasn't. He had he's like Trump. He has no understanding of policy or politics or how to get things done.
Reagan was a snitch. Reagan was the biggest snitch in Hollywood when McCarthyism was full bloom, was getting out of hand. He was the snitch that went around towards to Washington, to the right wing of Washington, and told them who was the communist in Hollywood and brought Hollywood down to its knees. You know, the saddest thing about Republicans and right-wing people is that they don't understand that they have always been the catalyst of bringing down a democracy because of their one worldview. Patriotism is the fact that they are blinded by patriotism with hate, not patriotism and bringing.
I was going to say it's not patriotism. It's so much other, but it's not patriotism.
It's power, and it's fascism, and it's nationalism, and it's wrapped up in what they call patriotism.
But this is what I don't understand. How do black people want to be with Trump when he's associated with Nazis and KKK and all these people don't? And even he shows us he don't like us the way he does things. He's got one black in his cabinet. He's of a hood, and then he has the nerve to say he's going to kill housing vouchers and trim down. So we got all these homeless people, and you're going to trim down HUD.
Because it's a for-profit situation behind it. It's a for-profit. It's a profit. See, the thing about it, and I hear what you're saying, Charles, how could black people get involved in this type of situation? Because somebody has to make money off of this.
Right, absolutely.
That's basically what it is. Somebody's making money. And most of these black people who are involved in this mess are making money. Right. They see dollar signs. If I can talk up against the liberal movement, if I can talk against my black brothers and sisters to make a bottom dollar, then so be it. It's all about them making money. It's nothing. There is no integrity in all of this. It's a game that's being played. Right. And you know what's so sad? Nobody else is playing this. Go on Twitter right now. Elon Musk is using black voices to sell Trump's rhetoric. There are no.
I think they're actually bots. I think those are really bots because they're everywhere. They're popping all up on Facebook.
But they are. Yep. But it's live and it's in color. I don't see no Jews for Trump. I don't see enough Hispanics for Trump anymore. I don't see no Asians for Trump. I'm seeing Elon using black voices to sell this truth behind the truth. And the saddest thing about it is some of these dumbasses are eating it up, but they don't understand that all of this stuff is the detrimental of a whole community to resegregate and to really with the government jobs that they have laid off. He knew what he was doing because most black people have government jobs.
Yeah. But you said it best, Alan. You have to repeat history. And you know how that is? Because Hitler is the playbook. Hitler won the first election, lost the second election, came back the third election, had all the rich Jews helping him thinking they were his buddies. Once he got all of the middle class and poor Jews into the camps and stuff, he went to them and started taking their stuff. They go, why you mess with us with your friends? He goes, no, you still Jews. It don't matter. You just my pawns to help me get what I needed. Because you talked those other ones into coming on in here and being our guinea pigs. And it's the same thing here. White America thought that Trump was going to come in and give them this great pat on the back and say, you're white privilege. And now they're all getting that FAFO. And the sad part about it is it's kicking them in the ass so hard. All this stuff to Biden, they claim Biden didn't do anything, but the Inflation Act and a couple of the other things helped out white farmers and helped out other people. And now they're realizing what they said he didn't do nothing. He didn't help us. He ain't there. Now we ain't heard nothing from Killer Mike. Killer Mike was all out there. Hold our vote. Don't give our vote up. Make it mean something. Don't give it away to nobody. It's good. And now look where we're at.
Well,
idiots.
Well, you know, Killer Mike said that he doesn't care too much for the federal situation. He's more of the state and local situation. He said blacks would be better off getting involved in their state and local than the federal, which I understand where he's coming from. And that rhetoric, I think we need to be more involved in our state and local. But the saddest thing about Killer Mike is that he undermined the situation when he said that I don't trust prosecutors because Kamala was a prosecutor. See, the thing about it is, he didn't understand that his voice was detrimental to her even being regarded as being important for the cause. See,
even Dr. Umar supported.
The Republicans needed somebody like Killer Mike. They always need somebody like a Killer Mike or an entertainer. You know, that's why Malcolm X always said it's always black entertainers that these white folks go to, or these white politicians go to, because we tend to listen to our entertainers.
But I don't have a problem with entertainers. Think about it. Jim Brown, Lou Alcindor, what's his name? Harry Belafonte. All of those entertainers, they spoke out well and they were supportive and they got the movement moving. I don't have a problem with entertainers. They pick the dumbasses that are sitting on the corner. The house burned down, and the guy got a damn bonnet on, and he got rollers in his beard. And they go, "What happened?" Well, you know, my boy, he was coming over to get some chicken, and we looked over out the window, and the building was burning. Now the building burned down. I said, "Bruh, the building burned down." He said, "Yeah, it burned down." Those are people they pick. They don't pick the people getting the intellectual common sense.
Right?
Why not? Why? Intellects are the enemy of right-wing rhetoric. Why? It's like that. It's like that man asked one of the reporter, "Why do most college students vote for Biden?" Now this was an old MAGA man. He said, "Why do most college students vote liberal and vote for Biden? Why not? Why and why should they? Why there are college students that vote for Trump, but the fact is they believe that if you have some sense and some intellect that you are the enemy." Right. Because you go against the grain of what they believe. That's why I said in some shows back, critical thinking classes in a lot of southern states do not even exist anymore because it goes against the grain of what they believe, and the Bible Belt and what they believe as it's just tradition. They don't want you to go against tradition.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
No. Well, you know what, guys? You know, as I'm gonna put this PC, it was a PSA moment in. Y'all need to listen to this man. Okay, this history news journalist. Okay, at the end of the day, he don't like to be called journalist because he doesn't feel like he's qualified. No, he is qualified beyond because he just gave you a not even a brief dissertation, a strong dissertation about how history is formulated to where we are right now and where we're going.
It's in the history book. It's in the
I get
history book.
it.
And I just want to add this on to it. I know, but you know, the fact is, just read the history, y'all. Read the history.
Okay, and the point is here is that, and I'm going back as a defensive point of this show and this platform. Okay, you have a man that has invested so much into the empowerment of knowledge to help people, to help you understand, what life is and where it is. I mean, we just took a short dissertation, but a dissertation about from where it goes back to the Reagan administration up to the clown. Okay, and how things have been formulated, and where most of y'all have not even paid attention to. And I'm not trying to throw off on y'all, but I am throwing off on y'all, okay? Because where we are, typically as people of color, and I'm going to include Asians, I'm going to include Jews, I'm going to include Hispanic, I'm going to include Black people, because guess what? Here in America, you're colored, okay? You're colored at the end of the day. Now, you may not be in the Black race, but guess what? You're colored, and you're still going to look at as being colored. All right. And because of that, you are subject to everything else that a colored person would have to do with. Okay. Let's get into we'll just talk about the Asian hate that was going on. I mean, you got white supremacists right here in California going up hitting older Asian women in the face, flogging them. You know what I'm saying? I know that they finally got some Asian legislation passed against that, at the end of the day. But then we finally get an anti-lynching bill, done 60 years after Emmett Till got killed. Really? You know what I'm saying? So, and it's a lot more. I mean, we don't even hear about what the Hispanic community goes through. I mean, and I'm sure that our Hispanic brothers and sisters go through a hell of a lot. Okay, and we talk about what is it? Profiling, that a police officer stop you and everything else like this. Profiling on so many levels. So, what I'm saying, basically, not to my white audience that understand this, but I'm saying to my colored people. All right, my colored people, come on. You guys have got to start doing something different here. You got to start knowing. You got to start educating yourself. You need to be pertinent into what's going on. I've worked with a lot of Hispanic young people, all right, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm embarrassed. Okay, I'm embarrassed as a person of color because they don't know what's going on. All right, they sit and look at all day long, and they don't know what's going on. All right, this man right now is on here talking about furtherance of trying to get their family members and other those out of the country, but you don't know what's going on.
Well, he just passed an executive order making English speaking
language the primary language. Yes, so. and then the last one that we go on to the next subject, and then there was that woman Christy Knowles. Oh my God, see, I hate the. Yeah, I can't call it that on right now, but he has allowed this woman. Okay, to me, it's one of the lowest things that you ever to put a commercial out about deportation, telling people that you better freely leave before we put you out.
And you cannot come back.
And you cannot come back, or leave willingly.
And you can come back.
And you can possibly maybe come back if you meet our criteria about coming in. Charles, did they have that commercial in Atlanta? Did you see that commercial?
One?
This national commercial that Christy, whatever that bitch name is, puts out. She's got this thing out now that it's on air here that she is saying that, announcing herself, and then she's talking to the immigrants and telling them to get out of the country before they get put out. That she's out there rounding them up. And
I saw a social media post about it. I haven't really.
Yes, this is a commercial. When I first said I cannot believe this, and then you all are still allowing this. I just don't understand. Yeah. I mean, this woman is right here this heifer is right here. The dog shooter is right here telling you they're gonna put your ass out, and you still swiping.
She is the Secretary of Homeland Security.
But I understand her position. But at the end of the day, I'm just saying, I'm talking to the people that allow this commercial to go right by. Oh, it ain't talking to me. Okay, somebody gonna come knocking at your door. You need to get to vote. You need to be down at your legislational places. People, come on. And it's just not even from our Hispanic brothers. I mean, your Asians and your Indians and all of these other ones that are in here that have been invited to America, unassumingly, not knowing that the way you got in. I'm gonna put it nice that way.
But they're not counting them as Republicans. Those who go out there and complain, they're counting them as people who are from the big cities and who are Democrats and who are paid Democrat obstructionists. What's so funny?
I like that.
Obstructionists. But you know what's so funny also, and I'm gonna let you have it, Charles, is the fact that I can recall when Obama was selling the affordable health care bill, he sent all of those people out towards the states to sell this plan.
Right.
And the Republicans sent Tea Party, they sent anything that was to obstruct and distract.
Yes.
But the fact is now that it has passed, and now that Trump is trying to, and he probably have gotten rid of it now, that they are in their feelings about the fact that this affordable health care thing that they so did not want in the beginning, but after it was passed, it helped them. Mm-hmm. Now it's up in smokes, probably tonight. That everything is up in smokes. Even this Linda McMahon, who got
Linda McMahon,
who got confirmed to be Secretary of Education. She's got to dismantle that. Mm-hmm. She's got to burn that down to the ground. There will not be any Department of Education. So my thing is, why did he confirm her in the first place to be to be Secretary of something that's going to be abolished?
Loyal.
I don't understand.
Loyalty. And she gets a check while she's there.
A waste of time, of tax-paying dollars that he keeps talking about that has been going on before he got there. So he wasted tax-paying dollars. Now we got to pay this woman not to work. And this is what really triggers me, is the fact that you have laid off a bunch of government workers, and now you hired this old ass billionaire to now we got to pay her to not do her job. So I think it's we are in a state of delusion. This is not the state of the union, but we're living in the state of delusion.
State of delusion.
That's basically what I'm calling it right now.
Yeah, the part that cracks me up is they thought Trump was going to not tax tips, not tax overtime, was going to give them $5,000. Oh, I hear black people all over the place going, he's going to give us $5,000. And I'm going, from where? How? Pull it out of his butt? I'm like,
yeah, probably. They like what's coming out of his butt right now anyway, Charles.
They do.
They really like that. But go ahead.
But the fact that, with them being transparent of where this money was, going with the USAID and all this stuff that was going. Now, if they were, listen, that's not even being transparent enough. I wanted to see the Epstein file. Now, why is it that you have a bunch of people walking out the door with a portfolio saying the Epstein file, but you're not even advertising it to the American people? Now, y'all been saying for the longest that y'all are going to be transparent about this information.
She claims today she has the files for Epstein. She said today, I'm going to put them out. So she said a date, but she said, we got them all, and I'm going to put them out, but with no date. No.
Well, put them out. What are you hiding? Because we know that was Trump's good friend for a whole decade. Let me also give you this FYI situation. When Michael Jackson was being persecuted for being a child pedophile in 93, you know who else was also being found out at the same time, but it was never advertised, nor it was put out during the time of that situation? Jeff Epstein.
Wow.
Epstein.
Wow.
While Michael was being persecuted for that false allegation, this man behind the scenes was being found out and being persecuted, but it was never advertised.
Wow.
Yeah.
In that time period. So you know what? This is what really pissed me off, is the fact that y'all have this information, but we all know that Trump and his good friend Andrew Tate, he flew Andrew Tate over from Europe, and he is the biggest child trafficking man that is now at Mar-a-Lago. He has been flown into Florida from Europe to be with Trump.
Yeah.
Come on, y'all. Make this make sense. Make Andrew Tate. You look him up. Look him up.
Yeah. You're right about that.
It's absolutely atrocious.
You know,
man.
I don't know what's being said. I'm sorry but we're just looking at this. But you know, this man is using all of these other visual excuses during this thing. I don't know what he's holding this little boy up for. I think he was a survivor or something. You know, at the end of the day, and he's from anyway.
It's good for the good for the pageantry, but still though, I mean, at the end of the day, it is what it is. It's good for television. It's good for his image, and it's to tell the American people that, you know, we're doing some good. But the saddest thing about it is when you are laying people off, disrupting and putting a sledgehammer to what government does for people. Now, Charles, you are a veteran. You are of the VA. You have situations that go on within, you know, with the situation with the VA. Let's say it like that. But he is pulling funds and he's laying people off.
The VA is so understaffed, it's not even funny. I hurt my back in February. They made an appointment for me in September. That was the first opening they had.
Wow.
I get there in September. They asked me, "Are you still?" I'm like, "Man, I could have rebuilt my back by the time I got here. I don't know. What do you mean, am I okay?" And then the other part is he wants to cut certain agencies, but those agencies are directly connected to food stamps, to student loans, to veteran benefits. I'm a disabled veteran, and I receive a percentage. But the crazy part about it is Trump says we shouldn't receive it, but for so long. There should be a window that you can get it, and that's it, 10 years at the most. And he doesn't want us to double dip. So I can't add my Social Security to my my disability because Trump says it's too much, and Elon says it's a Ponzi scheme. We're hurting the bank. We're bankrupting the country with that. And I'm thinking, so if I stay just on my disability, I would be on the street, hungry.
Well, of course.
Says the people who don't pay their fair share of taxes, but you got working class people who believe that the rich should never pay their fair share of taxes because they are the job creaters. See, I've heard I've heard this mess before, and
how is the rich the job creators? How's that a misnomer?
Trickle down theory.
It's the working class people. We do this to ourselves. I don't blame Trump and Elon Musk for taking advantage of what the working class people do not care to understand, that this is a game that y'all have allowed these people, the 1% to do to it. They divide and they conquer. But the fact that these terrorists are coming down strong, I cannot wait for people to go into their grocery stores and complain about the prices of chips.
I think it's in 5 days, gas is going up 40 cents a gallon.
Yeah. Well, thank goodness we've been already paying it here in LA. We don't have to go. We're not going any higher, but the rest of the world is. So
I hope not.
They've already said that California is not going to go any higher than where it is.
But the fact that how many homes are going to be built, with the fact that most of our lumber, all of this stuff is Canada.
Those tariffs kick in today. What was it? Yeah, today the tariffs kicked in for Canada.
Canada, Mexico,
China, and Mexico.
Right.
We said Mexico's doing their share with the border. Now everybody's going to Canada to come into the country with the fentanyl. I'm like, you act like it's so easy to just say, "Oh, we're not going here. We're going to go over there and come in with all these drugs." I'm not understanding how this works.
My point about all this is the situation with how that we are allegedly that these countries are bringing these illicit drugs into America. The drug problem has been in America since before all of us was born. Okay, we can go way back to Hollywood. What was that? The narcotics and then all of these illicit drugs and things like that. So, but don't pull that bullshit on people. Okay, really? I mean, we've been, Charles. You know what was it in the 70s? What was the slogan? Say no to drugs.
That was Nancy Reagan.
I mean, you know, the drugs, I mean, at the end of the day, this is not a situation where it's just now started, and these countries are not the ones that are promoting. You got the drug dealers are right here. They're right there in Beverly Hills. They're right there in Bel Air. They're right there in Buckhead. You know what I'm saying? And every other pharmaceutical companies
that will tell you not to go holistic, that would persuade you that holistic stuff does not work. That, even Dr. Sebi, God bless his soul, for many years was telling Black folks to go more more plant-based, to eat more fruit, to go more sea moss. But then you had pharmaceutical powers that be telling them that's all a big ass lie and that y'all should spend more money on these pills. You know, one thing I remember, and I know I'm going off, but Liza Minnelli said this, and I remember her saying this. She said, "You know what, my mom, Judy Garland, because y'all know she was a big pill head to a lot of people who don't know the real story of her situation." But she said, people in those days, if you got your medication from a doctor, from a prescribed medication from a doctor, that was not considered drugs.
Yeah,
you still have people getting their drugs from a doctor, and saying that is not drugs.
Right.
And that is the problem. You got people who are hooked on painkillers, who are hooked on amphetamines, who are even who was it? Matthew Perry from France. Wasn't he getting them shots from a doctor?
Yeah, absolutely. The same thing.
Experimenting with drugs is nothing but a gateway to hell. And the sad part about it is, too many of us don't want to move forward because it's either you had to think too much, lift too much, or kiss somebody's behind. When in essence, you don't have to kiss anybody's behind if you have your good character. If you're a strong character, you don't worry about other people. You do what you need to do to make sure things are right. But too many of them was holding on to each other. And the other thing Trump was saying is he didn't want us double dipping. I get a pension. They already chopped into it. George Bush made sure that after 60, I give my pension up to 62 if I get it early. 55 is the earliest. Then at 62, they cut it, and it has to be made up with Social Security. So you just chopped out $2,000 of my retirement, and I can't touch it till I'm 67, or else I'll get penalized for using it and having it, because you know yourself, $3,000 at the most is all we're going to get, and you can't live off of that. The average household runs off of $4,500 a month.
Right.
You at 3,000, what are you gonna do? Unless it's a bunch of you all ganged up in one little 2-bedroom apartment trying to survive. So
TLC could have told you that. T-Boz and Chili and Left Eye would have told you that wouldn't have been enough money. They couldn't live off $50,000. What makes you think you could live off $3,000? And the fact is that even Angie Stone, rest in peace, Angie Stone. The fact is that, to be honest with you, before she even died, wasn't getting her money, wasn't getting her royalty. She was, and you know what's so sad about situations like that? It's the fact that we see people like that and we think they have it all.
Oh
because
man,
they have a career, they have a mic in their hand, they got a voice, they got a talent. But those people don't have money. Mary J. Blige don't have that much money. I don't want to believe Mariah Carey don't have any money, but
Mariah Carey has money.
I don't know that.
But Mariah got money.
How do we know? How do we know? I don't know. Until she comes out and say otherwise. But to be honest with you, these people we look up to, even as much as we are here complaining about these situations, we don't know what's going up there with them. And I hate to say this, did y'all hear that the economists, they're saying it's high time now to save as much money as you can.
We've been through this before.
Frivolously, you got to save your money.
What did we say? What did
I
say?
We've been through this before. We did it with what was it?
The Great Depression?
84, 85 with Reagan. When job unemployment was 18%. We went through it again with Bush with the recession. Yeah. Then we went through it again with Trump with COVID. So and I'm not trying to be funny, but these are, if you look at them, they're opportunities. Because someone else's misery is your gain. If you're in great shape when these things hit, you go in like they did, buy up homes, buy up properties, buy businesses, and hold on to them till it kicks back in. Then you sell it for profit. That's how a lot of these folks are making their money. They come in as like vultures or scavengers and get in on the underbelly of it, and then hold on to it till they can make a profit. And
so here's the question that Dylan asked. Well, this doesn't have to be in the film or entertainment arena. why is it that, that I'm gonna say the black portion of the colored communities does not seize the opportunities like this, Charles? Why is it that we just cannot seem to get together as a group of of fellas, let's just say fellas, and put our money together to make sure that we are making the Airbnbs? Why are we not doing the things like this as a collective group? Okay,
because we're too busy trying to be the man. Too many of us want to be the man.
Okay.
Nobody wants to be second fiddle or a part of the conglomerate. They want to be the man.
The one thing the one thing about that other community, they don't care who they allegedly put in front as long as their bank account is reflecting what's going on.
The Hispanics will live 15 in a 2-bedroom house.
Right.
You tell a black man, do they going? I got to sleep on the couch. I can't have a bedroom. You're like.
Well, we won't even.
I've seen that in real life, not real time right now, but I've seen that happen before. I've seen that, and to be honest with you, it's like for real. Like, are we that really? It's one of those things. I just shake my head.
I have to go back to the fact of this real quick, and I have to bring up our religious institutions once again.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, hey, but because it is a practice that we see. You can't have this denomination fellowshipping with this denomination, not even those for the good of the people. Okay, because they can't agree on one thing that they all need to say upon to make something move forward. All right, I'm not going to deep dive into it.
You just look at that in your entertainment. Why won't Spike Lee do a movie with Tyler Perry? Why can't big egos? Why can't people come together? Why can't black creatives come together and make a blockbuster? Why can't you have Ava DuVernay and all of these great minds come together and Oprah and all of these people? You want to know why? Like you say, Charles, it's ego. It is ego. Because of the simple fact is that people got to be number one. It's got to be somebody who has to be on top. Go ahead and say what you're going to say.
Shonda Rhimes is opposed to that she brought that was a question that was opposed to her. Shonda Rhimes says that she will not work with people that do not have unity.
Wow, there you go.
Okay.
There you go.
So this is why Shondaland is the way that it is, and will be. And she says she will not work with people that do not have unity.
And you know what's so sad about? Well, not even sad, but and to be honest with you, I hate that is. What it is. What it is, what it is. But the saddest thing about it is when you hear black artists talk about, well, I'm not getting my just due, when I'm not getting paid enough money, when I'm not being recognized, and you got people like Tyler Perry coming to you and saying you need to build your own table. But then once you build a table, why do you keep your own from the table?
Because I'm Tyler Perry.
Why is it that you're kicking people? Oh, you know what? I love Tyler. I don't have anything against Tyler. But the saddest thing about it is
he's just doing what that black clown doing right there on TV.
No,
he keep people from the table.
No, not Trump.
He's not. Well, I mean, but you know what I'm saying. He's keeping people from the table.
Not Trump.
Nobody's good as Tyler. Well, we don't get on Tyler right now. We not gonna get on Tyler right now. We gonna get on the Perryville. No, go stay out of Perryville right now.
Stay out of Perryville, but you know what? It is. It's not. Everybody's doing their own thing, but it'd be nice. It would be awesome to see black creatives come together and do something for their black actors and people who could be making great films, great movies, great music.
Right.
Hey, you know what? At the end of the day, it's up to us to make that change. I don't know what it's going to take.
Inevitably, the one thing as we bring it to a close for this particular show, this gentleman that's sitting before us, and I say that, and then the relationship that Charles and I have had, for a long time, going on probably 15 years, close to at one time. And we collectively, separately, we ain't made no money. What we call money. You know what I'm saying? We were able to pay a bill or two, and or either got to the particular point before you and I were together that that there were times that I didn't have gas money to get to set, but Charles say, I got you. Okay, there was time when Charles didn't have money to buy something to eat, but what I say, I got you. You know what I'm saying? And there are projects that Charles has worked and developed his own, that I was right there with him doing, helping him do his scaffolding, helping him do makeup, helping him do all of the other things that to make that project. Stop and get emotional. Shut John, stop. In that, and even with the commitment to the truth behind the truth, there's none like this man. I'm telling you. Everybody needs a friend, a brother, a big brother, little brother, whatever you want to call him, okay? But a true brother like Charles McIntosh. And I will always defend him, okay? At the end of the day, always defend him, okay? Hey, always defend him.
One thing I can tell you is if none of us stick together, at least there's a few of us that are. I get people call me every day and go, I just saw you on so-and-so. Man, you getting them checks. I'm like, bro, that was one day of pay. Yeah. That was 4 years ago. I ain't seen that check since I got it and gave it away to the man. I haven't touched that check in a while, so it ain't like it's in my bank account.
And it really is. Last thing, Charles, you can bring up Angie Stone's picture if you want, real quick, as we close out with this. I do want to say one thing. I had an opportunity to work with Angie on one Terry Crew movie, but we spent some time talking. And one of the points that she had made, because everybody, as you mentioned earlier, everybody thought of the celebrity side of Angie Stone. Mm-hmm. And we were walking, I think we were at the Georgia World Congress Center when we were shooting this particular scene. And, and they left her without a PA, and she said, because we had talked to her, she said, Jimmy, where are you going? I said, can I walk with her? I said, well, sure. She said, they just left me hanging.
Wow.
She said, I didn't know where to go. I didn't know where to go change. I didn't know to do anything. She said, they left me. I was like, are you serious? She said, yeah. She said, and I said, I ain't got that, but I know you got. She said, I need this check.
Wow.
I need this check. I was like, are you serious? When you look at all of her accolades and things of that nature, accomplishments and everything. And she said, I need this check. I said, you know what? But then that moment, my little spirit side, I grabbed hands with her. I said, girl, we're going to pray for each other. She said, thank you. And I'm getting emotional. Stop. Anyway, but she said, thank you for that.
And I would love to say that. Go and finish your point.
So, you never know who will transcend long before you do. Yeah. And you never know whose pathway that you have been blessed to be in front of.
Yeah.
At the end of in that moment of exchange. Mm-hmm. And I'm just grateful that I had that opportunity of exchange. I'm grateful that I was able to grab her hand and pray. At that. But anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
But the fact is that this lady did so much within the industry itself. I mean, songwriter. She was one of those background singers. She was also she played saxophone for Lenny Kravitz and all these. The saddest thing about that story that you just said is the fact that with all of that she had did, nobody saw the value. They utilized the gift, but they didn't care about the value.
Yeah.
And that is her story, along with some other people's stories. This woman had did so much for Black music, the neo soul movement. I did not know that she was part of Erykah Badu's situation. I knew she was part of D'Angelo's situation. I did not know she was the reason why Mariah Carey has a career to this day. She was.
I'll be sure. All them folks.
She was at MCA, and then she went to Clive Davis, and and she did that. She did those hits, "No Rain in These Clouds," and I wish I didn't miss you anymore. But she was also part of a hip hop group, one of the first MCs during the 70s.
All female MC. And the crazy part about it is there's a conspiracy out about her now. They're saying that she was killed because she was fighting over her rights, her masterpiece.
Well, you just said that. Yeah. Wow.
And that in itself is so sad. But the fact is that I know that there were some black gatekeepers within that industry who knew and did not do anything to make change or to help her. See, that's what we're talking about. The fact that we're always in this situation by ourselves. There is not a community coming together to help and to inform one another what's going on. That is the saddest thing about the Black experience when it comes down to living the average situation to celebrity. We always like to see one another lynched from a tree without cutting them down. We like to see them lynched. I hate to say it, Puff Daddy, that's a disappointment. He's a disappointment. He had the platform to make change, to give careers, to maintain careers. But the saddest thing about his situation, he took advantage, he abused, he molested, and on top of that, he ripped all of his artists. The same thing with Barry Gordy. I'm gonna put him in the mix. Smokey Robinson. All of these people took advantage of young project kids from the ghetto, utilized their talents, stole their money, and as Black influencers, they told a whole community that this was the way to make it in an industry. You made people walk clear across a Brooklyn Bridge to go get you a cheesecake for entertainment. That's sad. Wow. It's sad. Oh, make it make sense. Make it make sense.
You can't make that make sense.
Sleeping with a whole bunch of women and then making your superstar have your baby and lying about that. Hey,
so save all that.
Oh, wait a minute, because
save all that.
That's
save
the
all
truth.
that.
That's the truth. That is the truth behind the truth.
Right. Save that for another show.
And didn't even know the child was her dad until an Oprah interview. Make it make sense. Okay. And you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah. Say that for another show. Okay, you open up another Pandora's box. Say that for another
truth
show.
behind the truth. This is the industry.
Right. Say that for another show. Okay. But one other point we wanted to pay homage to we didn't do last week was the incomparable Roberta Flack.
Oh, yes.
We didn't. We went past that because of time last week. But oh my gosh, I think I would say Roberta and Angie are kind of reflections of one another.
Oh yes.
In many ways.
Renaissance women.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, Roberta just paved the way for the Angies. She paved the way for a lot of artists and stuff. As a matter of fact, we'll elaborate on her again a little bit more next week.
Yeah, Clint Eastwood for giving her a chance to get that Grammy that year for his movie.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's just a lot that we need to be. And you know what? This is Women's History Month, so this is a good time to even talk about her.
Yeah.
So we'll factor that into our conversation next week. But anyway, guys, thank you so much. Those of you that took time out to be with us tonight, and this again, the show will re-air on Saturday at 6 p.m. All right. Those of you who didn't catch it, you'll catch it, and you'll re-catching it again. The points that you missed, and of course, we had that clown on in the background. I don't know what was being said, but it was a good rally. It was another rally. Okay, for his
rally.
Yeah. Okay, his agenda. But it is what it is. We all are planning some sort of a escape if things get worse.
A vacation, people. Vacation. Vacation. That's
an escape vacation.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, I got it. Whatever that is. Whatever that's called. Yeah. Whatever that's called. But we're working on that one. All right. Because it may need to be in a hurry. All right. But anyway, more to come. All right. We love you guys. Thanks so much for tuning into the Truth Behind the Truth tonight. Make sure you support us, share us, like us, all those great things. You got our Cash App information. You have got our Venmo information. Make sure you utilize those things. Hey, a little something week to week will always help us put this broadcasting forward. And remember, you're able to get your mugs as well. We still got those available. All right.
Please.
Thank you again. We love you guys. We love you. We love you. Love you. And hey, we're going to keep it moving. We're going to keep it pressing. We're going to keep it moving. We're going to keep you what? Informed. All right. Have a beautiful night. Love y'all from Atlanta, from LA. Have a great night.
Yeah.
Thank you for tuning into the Truth Behind the Truth. Good night.